It is December 3rd, 1981, and a high school sophomore, little 135-pound, dripping wet kid, Billy Bob McChesterton. His friends call him Billy Bob Mac and Cheese. He comes in, he's gonna lift, he's getting ready for football. And football coach says, you go on over there and squat 225. 'Cause that's what's on the bar. That's how it's been done in high school weight rooms since time immemorial. And Billy Bob doesn't know any better. Puts the bar up high on his back, up on the traps, and he squats down, and this weight's too heavy for him, and he comes up and he starts tipping over right away, and his coach doesn't want that bar rolling over on top of his head. He needs to get his neck cranked up so if something's gonna stop that bar from rolling over, he says, you got to look up. You got to look up to go up. In an effort to save that bar from rolling right over the top of his head. You gotta look up to go up. You got to look up to go up. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how the worst squat technique, the worst squat cue in the history of squatting was invented. Now, is that story true? Well, we'll never know, but you can't tell me that it isn't. So let's discuss two ways that Billy Bob probably could have improved his squat. Number one, place the bar below your traps, but above your delts. So your delts are going to provide a nice shelf for that bar so it doesn't slide any lower, and your traps are going to provide a nice trap for that bar so it doesn't go any higher. So if you got that bar rolling up on you, it's probably too high to begin with. On the other hand, if you got that bar sliding down your back, it's probably too low to begin with. This bar placement is going to allow you to get into that nice leaned over position without that bar wanting to roll up your back. Number two, pick a focal point that actually reinforces what you're trying to do. Now, you can pick whatever focal point you want, but I'm going to recommend that you pick a spot about 4 to 6 feet out in front of you on the floor. It's a good spot for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's relatively close, which is good for balance. You don't need to be looking up at the ceiling or anything like that. And number two, your torso, your chest tends to follow what your eyes are doing. So if you want to get into that nice leaned over position and stay in that nice leaned over position, it's usually a good idea not to crank your neck up because you're looking up, because as you crank your neck up, you're going to tend to try to raise your chest prematurely, making for a harder, less efficient, weaker squat. There is no compelling reason to look up to go up. Look up to go up. Look up to go up. We're not climbing a mountain. We're not climbing a ladder. We're not moving anywhere with our feet. We're just trying to stand up. You don't look up at the ceiling when you wake up in the morning. You don't look up when you're trying to get up off the toilet. The fact that there's a weight on your back doesn't change the fact that you do not need to look up to go up. So get the bar in the right spot. Pick a spot out in front of you on the floor, about 4 to 6 feet in front of you. You'll be good to go. Listen, if you want to look towards the ceiling, you're welcome to do it. I'm not going to recommend it. If you're looking up towards the ceiling because you're praying to God that you're going to get this squat, well, I empathize with you, but don't worry. God can hear you wherever you are, so he'll help out anyway. Hope this helps you get stronger and live better.